Greetings, everyone. Welcome. We are going to do a ranked Dominaria draft today. In fact, it's one I've already started, but I'm going to explain that in a minute. But basically, well, I'll explain it now. So last night I was drafting on this free-to-play to our side account where we grind some resources on the side so that when we fill up 4x on our main account, we have a side place to draft that doesn't use up our resources on our main account for no real collection building value. And so that's why we're over here. But I started this draft offline, and realized it was headed in a direction that I really love and is unusual. It's not typically where I end up in the format. And to get something new on camera, I decided to slam on the brakes early in pack 2 and just pick it up from there, see if people wanted to do that. And I checked with the viewers, and they were down with continuing this draft, which I'll show you momentarily. But first, I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. CardKingdom.com, which you can access down below in the panels through my affiliate link, is a purveyor of physical Magic gear. Everything you could need, realistically, they have, or they're looking for. If they happen to not have it, believe me, they're looking for it. Inventory is one of their points of pride. They want people to be able to come to their website and get basically a complete deck, heck, a complete cube from them, and not have to go anywhere else. It's why they have among the best buy prices in the industry. I always hammer on that. In fact, I am... True anecdote, so I'm also in the secondary market. I sell cards on a different website as just kind of a small vendor. I'm not really a competitor of Card Kingdoms in that way, so they don't care that I talk about that, because they know it actually lends authenticity to my pitch, because I'm in it. I'm in the muck. I'm in what's going down here. And so I played poker with Marshall on Monday night. And he had a big stack of cards that he was going to sell off to somebody. I never heard of ya, a rap burglar. Hey, Nick, thank you for the sub. And so he was going to sell off a bunch of singles, and he was like, I'll sell them to you, that's fine. And my thing is I'll take your singles from a friend or whatever and run them through and see what I can get for them, retail, wholesale, you know. And basically what I always end up seeing is like, there's like, of this, you know, this thick box, now empty, right? This was full, and there's probably like 20 cards in there that I'm going to list on my site because it has enough of a margin. Because I basically give Marsh the you know, what buy price that he could get from Card Kingdom, and so much of it, the margin is so tight, it's not worth it to me. I'm gonna list like 20 cards from that box, and the rest of them I'm just gonna sell to Card Kingdom and basically do that on Marsh's behalf, because the margin's not there for me. They're so tight on buy price margins that it actually compels how I run my side business, because there just becomes a whole class of cards that are not worth it for me to try and flip, because Card Kingdom is buying them for so much, it's not worth it. So that's legit. Be sure to check out Card Kingdom if you're looking to sell your cards for sure. And you can get the 30% store credit too if you're looking to convert it to more Magic stuff. Anyway, now let me take you on a tour of the draft we started. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Well, let me get some audio too. All right, so this draft started, and I even have the pack one, pick one. I can show you that by going left monitor for a moment. So here was pack one, pick one. I take this to help document my own side drafts, my offline drafts, so that I can update the spreadsheet properly. So this just helps me remind me of what I was doing. So I first picked Conjecture. As we've seen on stream, I think even yesterday, Mirari Conjecture is super powerful. If you need, it takes a little bit of setup to build around it, and then it's the value is insane if you can get there. So we opened on a Mirari Conjecture. Now let's go back here. And then I believe pack one, pick two, I think I took Rona, because Rona is pretty sick with, you know, I say I want to recur value in this format, and Rona is one of the tools for it. She's a bit slow. You don't really want her on turn 2. This is really a late game card. But like one of the things she does, for example, is you do your Mirari Conjecture nonsense, find a Rona, recast her and cast Rona and recast the Mirari conjecture, that kind of thing. This ETB recast, when you can get into a late game grind, was really appealing. So I took a flyer on a Rona. Then pack 1, pick 3 was my first Adalez, and took Adalez to lean in that direction. Then I think I had as I recall, there was an interesting pick where like the next pack had I forget what it's called, but it's 4 and a red for a 3/3 wizard, and when it ETBs, it deals damage to a creature equal to the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. Is that right? Or the number of wizards you control? Number of wizards you control, right? It counts wizards. In any case, very wizard-specific card, and a blink of an eye. And I took the blink of an eye because I still didn't know if we were going in the Rona direction or the red direction, and blink of an eye fit in either of those decks, and the wizard wizard Flametongue Kavu only goes in the wizard deck, really. So I took blink. Then I think we got Rona number 2, and I was like, okay, we gotta go in this direction. But then we got Adalez number 2, and that put me back. And I also knew that we were gonna wheel a bunch of stuff. Like I knew there was a Lava Runner to wheel. I knew we were gonna wheel Rescue out of the first pack. A Chronicler was likely, and the Journeymate. So anyway, that was when I settled in on okay, we're gonna do this wizard thing. This was pack 2, pick 1. I wish I had taken a picture of it, but it was stone dead for red blue. Like, this is not an account where I'm trying to rare draft or even care about rares, but there was just truly it was a blank of a pack 2, pick 1. So we just took Shalai there. And then anyway, so then I got to Naban, and I was like, okay, we're on the path to a pretty cool looking wizard deck. I'm gonna pause, especially we're gonna take Naban and wheel this Lava Runner, get a second Lava Runner. This is a deck where I'll take a lot of Warlord's Furies if I can get them. We just want to fill up for Lava Runners, and man, Warlord's Fury when you have an Adalez out is real. All your wizards get a pump and they get first strike. Anyway, so I love where this deck is headed. I love a Cloud Reader Sphinx, but we're gonna zoom in on this synergy we have here with wizards and keep the draft going with Naban. Aha! We get a interest. Okay, so I've been down on Time of Ice because I had mentioned that Deathsea and Mobius in particular, I remember, had this card as like S tier or something very high up in their rankings, and I didn't see it that way because I see it as an aggro card, and I mostly play blue control. But this is finally a place where I will happily take a Time of Ice, even over something as good as Divination, because it really supports the aggro plan. I like Time of Ice when we're going aggro, so I'm really psyched to be able to, for kind of almost the first time ever, and I've drafted a lot of Dominaria, be truly thrilled to take a Time of Ice because I have the wizard deck for it. We just want an Academy Drake here. I was looking to see if there was some spells that might matter or a wizard that might matter. This is a, 2/2 flyer for 3 is effectively what this is going to be for this deck, but it's not bad to have a mana sink either in case things head that way and we drop a 4/4. But we'll take the Academy Drake. But we want to see more wizard synergies. Like so we got some here that we could take. How good is Sorcerer's Wand? This is also the deck for Sorcerer's Wand. We have pick 5, so 2 cards. It might wheel. I know there's only 10 cards in pack, but the bots really don't care about this card. And understandably, if you're not in Wizards, you don't want it. And then we have Arcanist and Scholar as 2 playable wizards. I like first Arcanist over first Scholar. They both block with 3 toughness, which is really but this is a little more of a control card, but you'd still run it in this. Get some of your instants and sorceries going earlier. But maybe we just take a Sorcerer's Wand. These are not any big deal, and I would like one of these to be sure. So I'm going to take a Sorcerer's Wand. It can really, it's reach for the aggro deck. This is like the equivalent of, you know, your falter effects, because you basically, this aggroes them down to like 8, then you drop this and they realize that they're not only, it's not even just equip and then they're dead in 4 turns, but with multiple wizards you can, and enough mana, you can toss the wand around between your wizards and do 4 a turn. So it is a good finisher for the wizard deck, and because these are imminently replaceable, we're going to go ahead and take the uncommon and be sure we get one. Nothing really for us here. You could make an argument that this is kind of like a place where you might want a Frenzied Rage, but the trouble is it's you know, the way I want to enable my early wizard creatures is with stuff like Warlord's Fury that really fuel Adalez and make Lava Runners 2/2s. So it's kind of a non-bow. We really want our non-creatures to be wizard synergies or instant sorcery synergies. Yeah, I also don't think, you know, if we end up playing Arcane Flight, we're also probably in a bad spot. But this can be an aggro finisher card too. If, like, you know, if you threw this on a Journey Mage to get in for 4 and then cast an instant with, you know, it can be part of an aggro plan. But I'm going to start it in the board and hope that we don't play it. But this is not going great now. I'm a little disappointed with the selection so far. We're not, I guess we take this because I mean, the only other thing we could take is Partick Wanderer as a desperation playable. This deck doesn't really want 6-drops though. We kind of want to top our curve at Mirari. But I suppose I'll take the possible playable over, you know, Vault Progress. All right, here's a late wizard we can snap up and toss in at 2, and that's fine. I'm not, you know, Skin Witch is interesting because it is a wizard. I think that's what Sentient Hamster is pointing out. You know, Skin Witch plus Naban is a real thing, but we are nowhere near double black. And with a tight aggro wizard plan where we want to be, you don't want to be casting Lava Runners, Adalez, and Skin Witch in the same deck. That's just you're making it too hard on yourself. Well, Shift is your desperation. We didn't get there. Like, Shift is what you play when you don't get a Sorcerer's Wand. This is really not great at the job it's doing, and we would really have... So the job here is closing out a game in which you've gotten them low, right? They have stabilized, and you've gotten them low. This gets you the game. We've already got that job filled with a better card. So thank you, but no thank you. We'll take a I'd probably rather play a random fire elemental like over this Partick Wanderer, for example. Well, Naban is not good unless you're doing the wizard thing. So it's fair, you know, unless you're just saying you're just seeing like quantity, a lot of them, not necessarily when it's being passed. We'll take progress here. Whew, this Dark Bargain makes me sad that I'm not in black. This looks like it could have been a very fine blue-black deck too if we'd headed in that direction. We're not really doing this. I'll take a Frenzied Raid just in case. I also don't want to do Homerid Explorer. All right, and this is actually a pretty fine one to pick up. The fact that it's here makes me think maybe we would have picked up a Sorcerer's Wand, but happy to wheel a wizard. Muldrotha, old buddy. Muldrotha took us to 7 wins yesterday, but we're pretty far away from Muldrotha today. If this were a legendary creature human wizard, I would probably just take Tetsuko, but we probably just want Blink here. Would you first pick Josu Vess or On Sarah's Wings? I would take Josu Vess, but that's maybe my color preference. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, we almost went 1-3 with Muldrotha. It was very close to happening, and then we rattled off 6 wins or whatever. But we almost went 1-3. Sometimes your great decks just go 1-3 and you have to suck that up. I hate it, but it happens. Yeah, we're going to take blink of an eye here and try and wheel this Warlord's Fury. Feel like some stuff I thought would wheel didn't, like this Lava Run. I expected to have a second Lava Runner here. I'm a little concerned that we're fighting for red awkwardly. I didn't even look. I want to go for... Yeah, man, a black deck would have been very good. But our red-blue is coming together just fine as well, but would love a little bit more on the low-down. I even just want some more Get-To Journey Mages. That's not too much to ask for, right? Some Lava Runners. Like, give us some ugly, low-down wizards that nobody else wants anyway. Not even bots. None of that here. So we are looking at a Keldon Raider or a Jousting Lance. Let's see what makes most sense here. We don't have much going on at 4. Tron wants the Lance. I'm still on the... I'm very hesitant to play anything that's not a creature or an instant or a wizard synergy. We're not playing this. Let's put this on the board. We could throw that on Atlas or whatever, but it doesn't seem good. And it is kind of, you know, also I don't think we're playing these at this point. Might play 1 Radiant Lightning. It's not a very good spell, but you can run one in kind of desperation in this kind of shell if you don't have enough instants for the conjecture. Although we do. We're good on instants. Anyway, we're going to try and cut this. So I think this is actually a Raider here. This archetype doesn't really work well without Atlas. No, this is a key card. I look for an early Atlas and then I hope to get another one, and that's what happened. Like having 2 of these, 2 of her by the end of pack 1 was like, okay, this is the type of thing that makes a wizard deck hum. Let's see if we can do this. So yeah, I could take this Lance, but I'm going to take the creature under the philosophy I just explained. We do have a wizard here we could take. We could also just take a Fervent Strike. This is a good surprise. Like, this is the kind of thing you want with Atlas, and we might just wheel the Arcanist anyway. Probably would wheel the Strike. Like, these are the types of cards that other decks don't really want, which is kind of one of the strengths of this archetype, is that you should get a lot of cards that other people don't want. We just haven't gotten really the hookup since we picked this draft up at Pack 2, Pick 2, but there's still a little bit of time. I'm going to take... What are we taking here? I think we wheel either one, honestly. But I think we need a Fervent... I want the first Fervent Strike over second Arcanist, so I'm going to take this Strike. Again, just saw a bunch of red-blue and got hopeful, but there's no wizard in it and no synergy in it. We can take Sentinel of the Pearl Trident. One of the things you can do with Sentinel is, well, it's protection. When you have 5 mana, you can protect your stuff on some level, but usually what I try to use it for is to reset a Mirari Conjecture or some Saga. But there's nothing else going on, unless maybe we might be now desperate enough that we need to play some filler 2-drops. We could play a Warcaller to support advancing the Mirari Conjecture. Yeah, I think it's bad packs. It's unfortunate. I was really hoping we'd end up with just a super sweet wizard deck to show you, and instead the packs have been pretty rough since since we picked up where I left off offline. And now I'm debating, we could take, you know, the Kicker Goblin gets pumped by Blink, and I don't know if we're doing anything else. Also, we're hoping not to play this. Oh, we do have Time of Ice too. Let's take Warcaller on the strength of Time of Ice and Mirari Conjecture advancement over Goblin on the strength of like double Blink. Yeah, Academy Drake has Kicker, but at the time we're paying 7 to kick the Academy Drake. This probably even as a 3/3 isn't doing much. Whereas Blink of an Eye on 4, turning this into a 3/3 menace is pretty good. But we'll take Warcaller here. But yeah, these packs have just been miserable. And looks like we're going to have to be pretty spell heavy. We're going to rely on our double legend here and protecting her and replacing her. Yeah, we'll take Befuddle here. And oh, here's a Lava Runner, which I think we have to take over the Syncopate because we need that early action. I was saying, just give me those early wizards that nobody else wants. So we're gonna take a Lava Runner here. I could take another Rescue, but I don't even know if we're playing the first. I cut the first, but I'm never playing this thing. Are we playing a Servant? I don't think we're playing the Servant either. So I'll take another Rescue. Really hoping for a couple of wheels here to fill out this deck. All right, a Warlord's Fury or another random 2. Where are we at on creatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sad 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, sad 13. Okay, we're not in terrible shape on creatures. Yeah, but Servant plus Wand is the same thing as just putting this on a wizard. So, seems Rube Goldberg-y to me. I'm going to take a Warlord's Fury kind of randomly here over this 2. Not randomly, like we actually need this type of effect. It's good with with the Cinderwind here. I don't know how to pronounce Adeliz is what I see. 2 rescues, not taking a third. I'll take the random seismic shift here. Never playing a third rescue, like, ever, so I'm just not going to bother. We'll take Vault Progress, and we're not picking up anything. I just feel like not only were the packs bad, but we got bots into red. Clearly some bots were in red, because some red stuff that I would totally expect to wheel did not come back, and now we are gonna tough it out with some rough low end. Even got a gem grind on something. Just updating my spreadsheet here. Give me a moment. There we go. Yeah, I think the packs abandoned us there. So our current numbers, 1311, makes me want to cut this lightning right off the bat and kind of just go with this. Like, maybe we can run 1 rescue over something, like maybe even go to like this. With double Warlord's Fury, we're effectively running in a 38 card deck, and it's got a low curve. Even maybe cut a Fire Elemental if there were anything else I wanted. There's not really. Definitely only doing red blue. Don't want to splash here. This is bad. This is not good enough. I think this is just like the deck out of necessity right here. Mama's locking in Holly. Do you want her there? You want to lock her in elsewhere? Flight is fine, but not great. I mean, would you rather have rescue or a flight? I mean, we're talking about our worst cards here, which is like... And given how much we're leaning on this legend, I like a rescue. So I kind of want to try this. Yes, please move. You like it there? Okay. Yeah, there. Thanks. I don't know what yes, please. Yes, please was like 3 seconds ago, Mama. You think I remember what I even asked? What day is it? Where am I? Eating paper. Over what, Lincoln? If you want to bring in flight, you gotta name your removal. Removal, not the right way to put it. You gotta name your cut. I'm gonna do this. We'll think about Arcane Flight. I'll consider Rescue versus Flight as it comes up. Since the wizard part didn't really come together, I'm going to call this the magic is gone, because we wanted the wizard thing to just gel into this awesome deck, and instead we got weak packs and a so-so deck that can totally win. There's some good stuff here. These are kind of like 4-drops, but there's the weak end of this deck is bad. we can draw the wrong end of this deck and just look like we don't know how to draft at all. But this is the kind of playables you end up with sometimes in these types of spots. Let's see what goes. It's really only decent against the Sapperling archetype, but Saps is one of the best decks in the format, and you can sometimes finish stuff off. Like, another thing with an aggro deck is you do a lot of things where you're charging your 2/2 into their 1/3, and they block with the 1/3, and you can sometimes get some value out of Radiating Lightning through post-combat finish off, but that's, obvious setup cost is tough there. Hey, Bando, good time zone. Yeah, too situational. You hope not to run it. That's kind of what I was worried about. We wanted a few more creatures so that we wouldn't have to face situations like this, which I think we have to mulligan, frankly. This deck needs to get something out early, or what is it doing? If we play this out, we're just going to lose to any kind of control deck, and we're not even that good against another aggro deck. Hey, Robert, we're on the second account because I started this draft offline, and because we were clearly headed to aggro wizards, which is a cool archetype that we had not seen on stream, certainly not since it came back, and maybe not ever. We've probably seen it once or twice on stream, maybe, and so I wanted to play the wizard deck. All right, we're gonna keep this, and man, I kind of want to ditch a mountain. The rescue is not doing much here, but it's something for the lava runner. Ugh, this is just gross. But we're a low mana deck, so I'm gonna be greedy and keep a pretty low impact spell in rescue. I would rather have rescue in this context be the flight spell, honestly. Yesterday we started 1-2, but then we finished 7-2, so it was a nice comeback finish yesterday. No Dominaria memes. Dominaria was came out pre-streaming for me. Go with the 2-power creature over the Arcanist. But, oh, well, maybe I'll just rescue it. It'll fizzle their fungal. But let's see. What's the one that most... There we go. But we might not even start with her. Let's play Scholar, which actually blocks Danitha. just a boring old 2/3 wizard, but pretty good on the current board. If we find a land, we'll go ahead and play Warcaller and Arcanist, and then try to finish with, empty our hand with the old Cinderwind. If we find a land, and then we find, like, Shivan-Fire, that would be amazing, because then we could go Cinderwind, Shivan-Fire, Danitha, and then Wreck Face. The Vandal. You got it? Oh, we don't got it. I think it's this. I'm going to try something. Let me go back to Soapbox just to try this. No, darn it. Sorry, Ice Ice Baby is not working for whatever reason, because technology is hard. So I've got two outstanding meme debts to Ton Machine and Fought Fools. All right, well, we didn't find the sweet Shivan-Fire off the top, but I guess we now start attacking in the air with Atlas. Fought Fools waves the meme debt, but I feel it's weighing on me. So somebody out there, Fought Fools is throwing it to the crowd. We now are taking requests from anybody out there who wants to name one. All right, Meteor Golem it is. Well, we got him to use a cast down on our 2/3 vanilla. So there's that. Want to keep Dragon's Lair where it is for the day. Can I do that? Absolutely, Tron. You can redeem Boxed In to just lock a box where it sits. Do we want to trade a Warcaller for a trick, or and give them or just give them a token? It's not a wizard, so it doesn't even combo if we find an instant. It combos if we find, like, Time of Ice, but I'm willing to offer Warcaller for Thallid or Trick. Yeah, it feels like if they had a trick, they would have attacked with New Benalia. But although if it was a trick like, oh man, I could handle the Eviscerate if we could draw some non-lands, but we're now flooding out a bit, which is going to be rough, especially after the mulligan. Anyway, there's, like, Charge, which is +1/+0. So if it was that kind of trick, they would have attacked with that would have explained their attack. Charges +1/+1 to everything, yeah. And so then you would have had a 4/2 versus this 4/3, and they might not have wanted to trade the 4/2 for a 2/2 is what I'm saying. They didn't have a trick last time, so we'll call this attack, call this bluff. That's Trouble Town right there. Kind of makes me want to wait for a 4/4 flyer as our only hope here. Even that might be too late. But if we find a land, we get a 4/4 flyer. If we find a spell, we'll give up and play a 2/2 and whatever we draw. But the advantage meter is so far towards Oppo right now that I think our chances of winning are almost nothing. We need an answer to Ariel right away, or we're just going to lose to that. Yeah, there was one divination that we passed for what? It was something real good. We passed a divination for what? Time of Ice. Time of Ice. This tap. Destroy target creature with power X or less. Well, they can destroy the Arcanist anyway, so we'll block again. Just making sure there wasn't like some Ariel throws a point of damage on the Arcanist and kills it when it would otherwise not die. Okay, well, another Adeliz. I guess we'll do Adeliz and Academy Drake. And to an extent, that's like getting the land for 4 power of flying. Suppose we could even wait another turn, go with this for now. Does 6 in the air get us there fast enough? Like, okay, so we go 22, play this, then next turn we're attacking for 4 a turn from 22 versus 22, then we wait 20, then we maybe cast a 4/4, and then if they both live, it's still a 4-turn clock. It's kind of the same clock. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll... so then I guess I play both, and we just accept that they're going to use their turn murdering. But we're just doomed. I'm sitting here... Yeah, I don't even know if we're... We might even be beyond this.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Well, he didn't there. All right, I'm just gonna play this. Yeah, we're just waiting to die now. Silo wants to hold the 4/4. I think we needed to kill Ariel there, or we just fall way too far behind. We're on a mulligan. Oppo has found answers to our best stuff in Eviscerate and Cast Down, and part of our best stuff was a 2/3 for 3. Yeah, we are unlikely to see the light here. But yeah, maybe the slim hope was that a 4/4 would do it. I just don't think waiting for a 4/4 does it either. I think we're still on maybe we can still get there if we pick off Ariel immediately and then have a bunch of good attacks after that. I'm gonna get one more draw, and then if we don't find removal for Ariel, I'm scooping. All right. That we were not set up for success in from the get-go. Triple on Ariel? No, we're dead. Right? I mean, come on, Silo. We were not winning that game. Nothing was going to get it done. Let's play. I want to be on the play, and I want a nice wizard curve. Yeah, there's a 5C deck in the format, although it tends to just be base green good stuff. It doesn't necessarily need to be 5. But Grow from the Ashes and Skittering and Skitters plus in a base green deck allow you to play whatever you want. But I've been saying this week that really what I feel is missing from this format is M20 level availability of ETB tap duels. If we had ETB tap duels showing up occasionally in the land slot, this would be maybe just the best format of all time. I just wish it were a little easier for non-green to reach into third colors. Sorry, that was an easy keep, but I was on a mini soapbox there. We need one more island to turn on both of these blinks, but we're trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and just win. Shivan Fire could help with that. Do we want to bother with that now? I'm going to say no. We're just going to play Arcanist and try and set up for going bonkers after we get the Cinderwind down. I did have like a pick 3 or pick 4 skills offline yesterday, so it is possible to get them late. Well, I hate sending her out with no defense into black white. Like we could even get, she might even get picked off by the deal for the Gideon's Reproach or whatever. But we could do something crazy and play her and not attack. Yeah, Vicious Offering. There's a lot of stuff that could get Adela's, but if we don't do that, what are we doing? We could Warlord's Fury to look for the land and potentially set up a turn where we can save her with Blink or with just firing off +1/+1. I don't want to use Blinks. I'm gonna play her. There's a lot that kills her. I get it. But I think we have to try. I'm just nervous about the deal 4 from the white deck. There was no pause there, so I don't think they have any of the black instants, but they could still have the Gideons. I'm going to be really conservative and not attack into the white common removal spell. Because the lack of pause showed that they didn't have black instants. And there we go. Now we get a nice... So a little conservative there. I gave up 2 damage, but it was in service of not losing Adela's to that trick. To that combat effect. So now we're going to go Warlord's Fury. Okay, we found Island, and we have Shivan Fire. So let's just attack with everything. We can Shivan Fire to easily beat the Honor Guard. And then we have Blink backup. Everything hoses Triumph of Gerard nicely, honestly. Now we have save the Cinderwind if we absolutely have to, and if we get to untap with 4 mana and both blinks, we are really not going to lose. Maybe I'm being greedy with my blinks. It's possible. But what I liked about that play is that it left a blink for us the whole time with Cinderwind. So it was kind of more conservatism from me to just make sure that our legend was protected the whole time. But I'll try to open myself up more to unkicked blinks. I think it might be a leak of mine that I'm constantly looking for the card draw value off of blink. Yeah, that's true too, Banana. I could have blinked the... Blink is permanent, not creature, so I could have just blinked the Triumph to further pump everything. And save... Oh, then it saves the Shivan Fire, I think is what Banana was getting at. But again, it was all around me taking moves that kept a blink up the whole time. And maybe that wasn't the perfect line, but it's hard to be too imperfect if your line is protecting your Cinderwind in your aggro wizard deck. Kind of gross. But we're going to keep this. We have a cantrip. Oppo's going first. We have a lot of draws to find blue. And maybe we don't keep it. Maybe I'm being Cinderwind greedy here and just not wanting to mull away a Cinderwind. But this doesn't have a lot going on early. It's just leaning heavily on this. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to be Cinderwind greedy. All right, we found an island. Lucky us. Almost, we can make an argument to not play the Fury since we found our island. But we would like to find if we can find a 2-drop wizard ahead of Cinderwind, that would be great. So I am going to cycle the Fury, even though I'd like to cast it after we drop one of these Cinderwinds. No, I am. I like... And this is why, like, I wanted to find something like this. So, not perfect, but we did find ourselves an early wizard. And then the next turn we'll actually drop Scholar. Well, let's see. It depends on what we draw. Let's see what they do and what we draw. I've tried to get Holler to work, but it's like my white whale. Find it never works. Watch it work for Oppo brilliantly. Well, we're going to... We're not blocking down low. Let's just get a Cinderwind going. We even have a spare. If we draw another 2-drop wizard, we at least have, or another 2-drop of any kind, we have at least a 2-spell turn next turn with this play, which we would, I guess, with a Scholar as well. But this gives us an attack right now. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? To be fair, Halar's pointed at the ground. Halar hasn't realized the strategy of doing this yet. That's their next card. All right, we're gonna go Scholar here, and then next turn we get Arcanist Befuddle. But we'll leave Befuddle ready. I'm going to attack because it's largely free. If we have to, we can fire off a Befuddle, but I want to show Oppo that I'm willing to send Lava Runner in for bouncing, because eventually we hope that it won't be a bounce. We'll do something and we'll eat that scout. So let's do a little rope-a-dope. I like getting Oppo in the habit of blocking for a bounce when in the future you hope it's not, you know. Then they think it's continues to be a safe block. Well, that's going to be tough to drag down in combat. Oh, but Blink is kind of perfect. We still could go Arcanist Befuddle. If we Befuddle, the Allosaurus can't kill anything, but it also isn't going to die itself. But I like getting another... I like using all our mana. We're going to do these two this turn and then try to have a really big turn with Blink next turn, since we can use Befuddle to not lose anything to the Allosaurus. That's assuming they don't double block. I can't fathom that they would. Let's find out. Oh, and they did that, giving us the scout, so that's great. They blocked incorrectly. Thank you. Yeah, you could save the Befuddle for defense for sure. With the Blink and the additional wizard to play, I'm just trying to be more aggro with this. Oh yeah, good point. Good point. I was forgetting that that Befuddle play pumps the Lava Runner. That's a pretty good draw for them. Some chumps on the ground. They're going aggro. We're gonna let that happen. Maybe able to blink a sapperling and get there. We'll see. But I'm gonna take this 8, and then we have some serious thinking to do next turn. Let's see what we draw. We have a lot of draws that could change how we play the next turn. Like that, like that. Okay, so we get 2. So the team is pumped. We remove both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we get it. It's lethal. Lethality. Ugh. Fire elemental. So, someone was asking, is this deck viable without the Cinderwind? It's a lot worse. It's a lot worse. Does that work? How do you do that? Oh, there we go. Somebody already did it. Yeah, another place where I'm going to keep, even though I don't love it. It's got a Cinderwind. Yeah, pretty inconsistent fools. It's why I wouldn't start here. I didn't start with Cinderwind. I started with solid value in red and blue, and then found a mid-late first pack Cinderwind. So all right, no 2-drop wizard, a big shame, but we do get a turn 3 Adeliz to get going with. It's just it's a much more uphill battle, especially against the control decks of the format. This is one of my issues with Time of Ice. It's like there are some creatures you just don't want to send back, although in this case we can tap down a Sapperling and kill it. But we're also not going to bother with either one right now. We're going to go with Academy Drake here. Oh, interesting. I guess we're going to go with Befuddle. And then we kill it. So that works out. Not the turn I was expecting, but I'll take it. Well, it might just be that in this format, you know, the bots are in a place where nothing is too abusable and the lack of synergy efforts aren't devastating. I'm going to go with attack with the Cinderwind. We have Fervent Strike ready, and then if we use the Fervent Strike, we have Keldon Raider, and if we don't, we have Time of Ice or Keldon Raider, and if not, we have Fire Elemental. Yeah, we'll go with the old Raider here. And discard what, if anything? Are we happy with these cards? Are they going to get us there? They might just get us there and we're happy with these. And Fire Elemental and Keldon Raider, followed by a Time of Ice, and eventually a 4/4 flyer. Yeah, I think we're good. Hey, Sten Stark. We're doing all right. How are you? Main deck Dark Bargain usually means someone's looking for land to play. Although we're tapped out blue, so it can also mean they're just ducking possible counter magic. That's great, because nothing on board they have kills an attacking Keldon Raider, and we get to follow with a Fire Elemental here, and really be close to a 4/4 Academy Drake. Oh yeah, Sten Stark, I'm up here. I'm representing us aging Gen Xers, the OG gamers. I think about that a lot. You know, like my gen, you know, when I was 8 years old or whatever, it's like 1980 and Atari 2600 is all the rage. But gaming at that point, it was something for me. It was something for 8-year-old boys. According to society, that is. According to cultural norms. I'm a little worried about Skin Witch, but what you gonna do? We got a pretty good board built here. We just make our big Drake, but you know, I think we get farther at this point just by Time of Icing this Whisper and piling on. Yeah, they need second Swamp for Skin Witch, but you know, they could go Swamp Skin Witch pretty easily. We'll go with Time of Ice. We can even go Time of Ice Academy Drake unkicked. That might be the best clock. Somebody do the math. Should I play? I'm going to play Time of Ice and attack. You all figure out whether I should play the Drake or not. I mean, yeah, I guess it's got to be right to play the Drake here, right? They're going to be dead before the 4/4 Drake even attacks. What do we lose to? Great question. My loss of internet. But it is a great question, and there are not a lot of sweepers. There is the 2-turn Mythic Black Sweeper. It's a saga. It enters and doesn't sweep the turn it enters. It's 4 mana, 2 black. Make something a +1/+1 artifact creature, and then when you untap the chapter 2 of the saga is destroy everything that's not an artifact creature, or anyway, destroy creatures that aren't artifacts, and then there's the Urza's Ruinous Blast or something that is a exile all non-land permanents, I believe is the rules text, but it's a legendary sorcery, so you can't even cast it unless you have a legend out. So it's really it's a very not many sweepers at all in the format. Fight with Fire is the honorary 9-mana sweeper. Sure. Well, we keep getting turn 1 Warlord's Fury with interesting hand. I'm going to keep this. We at least have turn 2 Collar. And we find an island. We get our most important card and a card to protect it. Granted, you need 2 islands if you're going to be able to protect it the turn she comes out. But I'm going to keep this. Yeah, non-legends. That's a great point. So Ruinous Blast doesn't get our best card too. This is more of the worst end of our deck. We do have a couple of sagas this can advance, but mostly it's a filler aggro 2-drop. Or it's a filler 2-drop that we're trying to be aggro with. Have we seen Blast in the packs? I'm not sure what you mean, Fulato. Like, not in this draft, and not since... we haven't seen one since it came back, but I've had it played against me. It's pretty rare, though. It's those legendary spells are pretty high hurdle anyway. All right, give us an island. Island. No, although we have a saga to advance with Warcaller. Island. No, we have a Warcaller. Come on, deck. Oh, we're gonna get this pated? Okay. A little sad, but okay. Again, note how much better Syncopate was for them on the play. If you switch play in the draw, we land our Warcaller before they get a chance to counter. The fact that they've left all their mana up makes me very hesitant to run out Adeliz. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Staring contest. We could offer them Naban, which is less important than Adeliz. Cannot protect Naban. But I am going to send Naban out to try to take a bullet for the Cinderwind. It's a nerve-wracking card to see, huh? Well, they paused like they had the option. Maybe they just have a Shivan Fire or something and they're going to take care of Naban via removal. If they remove Naban, I'm going to say they still have a counterspell and they've just decided to answer Naban via... Huh, okay. Well, we need another island, but... I'm generally happy to see an Oppo playing Seismic Shift. But, come on, deck, help us out. Don't let that work against us. Uh-oh, it's working against us. Have to feed us a mountain, deck? Come on. FU clone, yeah, definitely soft Dominaria decks from Oppos overall. We're not in the high ranks or anything, although, you know, we're at gold playing silver, so I don't, you know, the expectations should be adjusted there. But in general, yes, I think we're seeing a lot of people maybe trying Dom for the first time, people playing this who aren't familiar with the format. I'm trying to figure out if we bother with the Shivan Fire on the Lava Runner. I don't think it matters all that much right now. I'm going to just take it. We may be able to do some sick stuff with Shivan Fire in hand when we have an Adeliz down, because we're totally going to draw an island right now. Island. Hi freaking hilarious. Well, we're winning the race right now. And we can kick the Shivan Fire now. There's that. I guess we let him do the 2, and then we take out the 3/2 as opposed to taking out the 2/2 and preventing the 2. It does put them ahead on the race, but it taps them out. So now we can draw an island and resolve even like a Mirari conjecture. I think that's what we'll do if we do find an island. Seismic Shift can often come out and look strong when it happens to show up at a time when someone is on one of the land, but obviously it's a garbage spell. We were even talking about playing it for the Falter side, so I'll give Oppo credit that they didn't have reach, and they were running this as the poor mage's reach spell, and it happened to have some utility as land destruction here. That's totally legit, but you don't want to be playing Seismic Shifts. You hope that, like we do, you have different things to provide the reach for your wizard deck. All right, island one time, please. Yes. Okay, now we're doing it. We get to Mirari back the Shivan Fire, Mirari back the Warlord's Fury. Then we get to blink the Conjecture, or rescue the Conjecture. Probably rescue the Conjecture, and then do it all over again. Definitely doing this while their shields are down at the very least. And I'm gonna go ahead and Shivan Fire now too. We could wait for something bigger and better, or try and get double Shivan Fire on the double Mirari turn, but we have plans for that turn anyway, and at this point we have plans to run the Conjecture 2 more times, so I'm not worried about like not getting full value out of the double Shivan Fire. The value train will leave the station shortly if Oppo doesn't do something significant. In case they have Syncopate, we're going to start with our Wizard, which we can pay the Syncopate for. Leaves us shields down on blue, but that's the cost of only having 1 island. We can even play the Syncopate on the first Warlord's Fury. So let's try this. Oh, an Unwind, okay. And they even get to untap, and now they potentially have another counterspell available, but notice that Adeliz continues to do her thing even if they counter it, so we're going to try again. We'll trade Fury for a counterspell if that's what they've got. The mountains keep coming. I'm going to play it. They're blue-red. It's not like we're trying to dodge a Skin Witch or something. Now we also got to stop on... I just want to put all these stops in. I guess we want to stop on our main. I'm putting this... Even though it stops on your main, I want full control on our next main to do the shenanigans with Mirari Conjecture. Looks like they may have something to win. Oh, they're going to rescue? Great. That makes me feel quite confident. Again, this is their key moment. If they don't stop, they need to, like, do something about this conjecture. But red-blue can't handle enchantments, so at most they can blink it. Well, when we cast Rescue, the Chapter 3 won't have resolved yet. So it's fine. Another mountain. I swear the Shuffler is out to get me. Just me, though, not you. Ah, it's brutal. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Double unwind? Are you kidding me, Oppo? Well, we're going to get you anyway. I've said this is a fine... I like this better in best of 3 when you know you're in a spell battle. It happens that they're in a spell battle, so these unwinds have been good for them. But I don't advise running multiples like that. They're going to be dead too much. Yeah, play another one. 7 mountains. This is insane. This game should be closed out, locked, put away, done for. But Mountain Flood has made it a little closer than I think it ought to have been. And we're in great shape, but we don't have it done. This is going to make it close. We blink. Doesn't really do anything to blink it, though. I'm just gonna hold the blink to protect our win con. Like, why do anything except protect the thing that is about to kill them? Hey, Robot. How you been? Good to see you. You may have this. Yeah, Oppo playing some suspect cards here. Curator's Ward, not worth it. In general, yeah, they're just desperation attacking here. Early thoughts on Theros are, I really ought to check out some of them Theros previews. I swear I have an even number of islands and mountains in the deck. We're mulliganing this. There's nothing going on there. Oh, yeah, see? We have the same number. Alright, fine deck. Fine. I'm gonna keep, but the question is, like, what are we tossing back? Might even be just an island. Like, we're not gonna win unless we draw some non-island lands anyway. And the only reason to keep an island would be that it gets us to a turn 4 kicked blink for sure. And I do like having that backup Cinderwind. You can make the, hey, it's a legend, get rid of your extra legend. But man, it's nice to have, you can just kind of play your first one into removal and not worry about it. Yeah, Fury again though. Like we're not gonna win unless we draw mountains, and then I actually like Fury plus the Cinder Wind, so I'm gonna be a little greedy here and ditch an island. Yeah, I know we were just so starved, but we're gonna need non-islands to function. We're gonna need non-islands to function, so I'm gonna gamble that we're gonna find them, and if we don't, this is how we lose, and I can accept that. All right, well, if I'd kept an island, I'd at least have a play here, so you got me there. But again, I had my reasons, I took my chances, I can accept these results. All right, we're in business, and I said we could just toss Cinderwind into open mana and possible removal, but there's also no reason to if we have the Scholar, because we go Scholar here. If they counter it, they counter it. Also, we see no pause, so that helps. No Syncopate. And then if we find another land, we get Cinderwind plus... Well, if we find a mountain, we get Cinderwind plus Fury. Explorer is gonna... whatever. Take some stuff. All right, we'll just go Cinderwind now. Although we could go Warcaller, Time of Ice. That if we go Warcaller and then next turn we go Time of Ice, I'm saying we can go Chapter 1, 2 of Time of Ice next turn. I think I'll go Cinderwind though. We got the backup and all that shenanigans with Warcaller, Time of Ice, etc. all gets better when you have a Cinderwind out anyway. Well, they had sync mana up, but then there was no pause, so they didn't show Syncopate when we cast Scholar. Land. Mountain, please. Mountain. I'm gonna Fury. Gotta find some land. There's another Fury. We'll attack though. If they block, we're happy to blink something else. Yeah, they're not gonna fall for that. I almost blinked anyway. Like, we could have blinked the Cloud Reader just to set him back a little bit. Interesting. Let's see where they go with this. Tough to beat in any format where he shows up.
Hurry!
Nonsense. We're gonna get Teferi dead. How about that? Ooh, in fact, we can just wait. Get Teferi dead, even with just Blink and the Warlord we already have in hand. Now, they might have a counter. They can untap 2 here. But we're actually in solid shape, and I'm going to be greedy and Blink on our turn to get the attack bonus. Found another island. Let's start with Fury, though. Or we could just do... Wait, let's see. Maybe we get it off the kicked Blink. If we kick the Blink, we only get a... never mind, we only get 3. Maybe we don't even get it. I guess what we do is we start with the Fury. I want to get Teferi very low, or at the very least, make them trade off the Arcanist here. Or I guess we can make them trade off Cloud Reader, or give up Teferi. That's interesting. I'm going to do that instead. Let's blink... I'm going to blink the Arcanist. Because now Oppo has to choose between saving... they can save Teferi or they can save the Sphinx, but not both. Unless they have something here. I mean, they may have a blink of their own. That just if they have a blink of their own, we're kind of dead. But I'm not playing around that. We got to play like this line to take out Teferi is going to work for us. Hopefully they're just in a shatter pause moment of realizing the implications of this, but they may have something here that undoes all of our efforts. Yeah, there's plenty that wrecks us, but we can't beat the stuff that wrecks us, so we are pretending they don't have it, and then we'll find out if they do. If they do, maybe move on to the next game even, but like we got to try and take out Tef. They may be cautious because we could have rescue or something. Yeah, so they had their approach. We at least really kind of surprised they took that block in that spot because we have the backup Cinderwind now. We could still be fine here, especially if we draw an instant or sorcery. That's 2 mana or less, because then we can Cinderwind, fire off the pump, and hit Teferi reasonably hard. Oppo with all the goods today. Oh, it's like a slap in the face, right? It's just a slap in the face. Also, Ryan, I mulliganed and I'm still crushing you. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And we do get... like, we can go Adalez, but we don't have anything we want to blink yet. Gonna keep coming at Tef. And we'll probably pitch this Warcaller, and then if they... I guess they'll just get their own Sphinx back. So we have no... like, if they do the play where they pull one of our creatures, if they decide they want a Cinderwind of their own or whatever, it's a terrible play because we have Blink. You never want a good rule of thumb in this format. If you're playing an Eldest Reborn against blue, really try and target your own creatures with Chapter 3, or you're going to get it. You're going to get their creature blinked back to their hand. Oh yes, Scryland in. They're playing 3 colors and a land that taps for no color of mana. Man, I've not wanted to win a game this much in a long time. This is a lot of weak. There's some questionable choices alongside some really bomby stuff. Let's see if we can get it done. Sometimes the bombs get you. That's magic. That's why they're there. I'm not trying to be salty, but I just it stirs up my competitive juices, and I want to try to find a win. That's tough. Part of our plan is time of icing their stuff, but not going to do it with that. Chronicler could be interesting, but need another mountain after being desperate for mountains. We can't just find an even split somewhere in our land, you know, just a couple of each, That's magic. That's magic. Okay, we also have this conjecture. What could that do for us? We get the blink back right away. We get a befuddle. No hard removal. Yeah, we do need to chump. So, well, we don't need to chump if we... send back the Explorer? Why do we need to chump if we just send back the Explorer? I'm gonna do that. This gives us a chance to find a mountain, and then we can Chronicler for value and use it as a chump on the Snapper. Okay, they did have the blink. Okay. Tough. I mean, D, I'm not going to coordinate a segment with you, but you can show up and chat whatever you want. And if I catch it and it's something I want to respond to, then great. All right, that's how they had 7. Well, East, I don't see what you wanted to do. I mean, yes, as predicted, but what's your line that actually gives us a chance to win? I decided to make them have something to get to 7 and take a line that actually had some remote chance of possibly winning, but we just lost to bombs. Oh, is it? Well, let me look. Maybe I misread. I thought it was control. Yeah, it's control. We didn't control that permanent. I know you weren't. I'm just saying. But like, you did observe it. You observed that it was as predicted, so I just wanted to observe that, yeah, but we still didn't have a line. That's the problem. But I'm not calling you rude or anything. We're good. We're good. I don't know how it's any stranger than you vomiting anything else you vomit at me, D. I mean, just say what you want to say. And if you engage me, we engage. And if we don't, we don't. But I'm not gonna. I am not setting up a recurring segment with you, D. No, I'm not. But feel free to share a cool quote. See what happens. Yeah, Time of Ice. We're in Tempo Aggro, so that's actually a home for it. Oops. All right, we are up against it on our win count. Back now against the wall. Hey, Raptor, thank you for the resub. Glad you were able to come back for that, at least. And hope you had a good holiday month. That's touching, D. What's in it for me? Why do I want to collaborate with you? Let's see. We can keep this. We have a Sorcerer's Wand on 1. We have Desperation Blink. I'm a little uncomfortable that our next play currently is on 4. But then it does allow us to like pitch our worst card and try and find something better. I'm going to keep this narrowly, but I don't love it. Also, we have both colors. That's somewhat affecting me here. Any moment on the layout of the main screen for Arena feels like the formats area is tiny compared to the ad space in the middle. Another compass for us to face. You can give value like everybody else. Be a positive, considerate force in the community. Chat politely and kindly. Say interesting things. Don't repeat yourself. Sometimes a streamer misses a question, and that's just the way of life. You move on. Yeah, help me win. Help me not lose to the double compass short sword deck. All right. Thank you, Razor. Gifting subs. Yeah, the compass play from everybody is absurd. But I think it's because, again, there's no fixing and people are desperate for it. They so want to play all of their sweet 3-4 color brews that they jam this in to try and help. Okay. Well, it's at least a play. I'm happy to do something before 4. Fervent Strike could be good here. They're thinking they can get in no problem with their Dauntless with the sword. Although next turn we're going to play Raider. We'll just take some damage from a bodyguard. Yeah, Silo, you're missing the... It has some comparisons. I'm not sure what you're saying, Silo, but like, yes, you can compare Compass to certain things that card does, but this card does not say draw a card on it, and therefore it's real bad. Real bad. Don't play it. All right, well, I was going to go Keldon Raider, but actually we're just going to drop Addy here and do some racing. Yeah, we're attacking with both for sure. I mean, they should smell this out, but this is a bronze player running double compass, so they may very well fall for this and block. Maybe they've got something. I can't remember what exists. Anyway, they 1 mana of any color, so maybe they have something. Maybe they have a fervent, but, you know, we're going to go for it. Prevent damage equipment is also pretty bad. It just doesn't measure up in the format. Sometimes it is in a board situation where you're like, oh man, this is actually good here. Oh, so what are they going to do? A fervent strike of their own? Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. Or are they just pretending? What's going on here? Yeah, I'm not sure what Oppo's up to. Fool Auto asks, have you done the math on what level the Mastery Pass breaks even reward versus cost? Well, Raptor, who just poked his head in after a while away, had a tool for helping with that. I can't remember if he updated it for the new set. Let's see. It's on M20, so this isn't updated. Is it... Anyway, what's going on? Let me get back to here. I guess we're going to Raider away this mountain. But we can do that after combat. Save the blink. Yeah, maybe I lost a point of damage. In my head, I needed to give this first strike for it to win combat, but I miscalculated the impact of the Attila's +1/+1. So I think we're a point down where we should be. Is that a new one? Maybe I need to update mine. Oh yeah, okay, great. Thank you. What I need to do is update my Mastery Pass link, which is old. Now we get to see what they were trying to do last time, I think. Are they just doing that arbitrarily? Maybe they're just being weird. Some people do that. Anyway, Raptor there provided a link to a great tool that you all can use to take a look at the Eldraine Mastery Pass and enter in the stuff that is new. Or sorry, hold on, I'm trying to do too many things at once. Let me do this. Okay, now that I've taken that turn, I'll better explain this tool. So what the Mastery Pass is worth to you depends on how you value some of the things it contains from a gem standpoint. So what Raptor did is provide a tool by which you can indicate what cosmetics and booster packs are worth to you in terms of gems, because by understanding what those things are worth to you, you can then reverse engineer at what level the Mastery Pass becomes worth it for you to buy. But it's impossible to answer the question of when should I buy the Mastery Pass if you are not also indicating how you value some of the squishier stuff in the system. What did they do? Did they bring anything back with this? With the Elemental, we could just offer a trade here. Could be a Traxos deck, yeah. I think we just bounce and attack, though. I would love to get a card off of this, though. I'm such a greedy with the blinks. You know, with a backup Cinderwind and a Fire Elemental, I'm just going to offer the Raider and then move the wand over to the Arcanist, and then with an Island and the Arcanist, we even have Blink available. Yeah, too bad I'm not playing a Compass. Then I could have kicked my Blink, right? All right. Well, we're going to use Blink or Fire Elemental to address this concern. You can also get them to switch power and toughness and then bounce it, and then they're at, you know... I'm not sure. Actually, how does that work? If they put this on the stack and I bounce it, what happens? Does their life total become... Oh, yeah, befuddled? So here we are. We can, of course, we get another mountain because that's how we roll. Brainiac thinks it would fizzle. Yeah, you let it resolve and then bounce it, and then they don't get the life link. That's probably what you want to do anyway. Like, you let it happen to make sure they get to 4, and then you bounce it so the life link doesn't happen. Yeah. All right, we figured it out. Now we got to figure out whether we're playing Fire Elemental or Blink. I think we just leave the Blink up and see if they want to try for that play. Because then we just, they go to 4, then we go 2, untap, and 0. Okay, so they get 6 instead. Still good for us. 7. Oh, now they can't activate, though. That's fine. We have to blink, but I like it. And we could be in trouble to the double compass deck. I mean, this is one of the things that just happens with powerful cards. It doesn't matter how crappy the cards they're playing are if they have enough good ones to get there. But they're 2 turns away from attacking with Evra now, so that's nice. We get some serious damage in the meantime. First, our low end was bad, and we were playing like Fire Elemental. The draft kind of went off the rails towards the end. We just did not get hookups in the packs. The packs were super bad after a great Wizard start. But I do like it as doing the... I like having a card that closes out, that has some reach in the Wizard deck. And it is totally playable in a Wizard deck, but it's not great. It's fine. It does the job of reach. You don't need to prioritize it at all. In fact, I took it with like 10 cards left in the pack and considered trying to wheel it. Yeah, you're pretty late, Island. Very late. But we basically get him in a forced block now. And even if they put the short sword on, the Fire Elemental still trades. And it's a must block, unless they come up with a different play besides Evra. Can we just win without... We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see any way to get 8 here. So we gotta... But we will... Yeah, we get this trade. Oh, did I screw up by attacking here? Maybe so. Let's see. We can go... don't have the bounce now. Yeah, that was dumb. That was real dumb. It was a bad draw for me because I just unconsciously played it like it was a good thing, but instead I punted. So now what do? We can go... Well, that would be just desserts. If after mocking the compass player, I punted away. I want to take it back. I didn't mock the compass player. I said I don't like compass. I try not to mock players. I try to expect that our blast will come here and watch the video or come talk to us afterwards. And if our blast came and talked to us, I would say you really ought to not play these compasses. They're not helping you. That being said, it would be funny if after expressing my lack of love for the compass, I then lost to my own punt. So we can go ahead. The thing is, they can't even. So we got to do a nice low life total though, so that's pretty good. It's not even that bad of a spot actually because they're at 6. Why are you so mean, D? Seriously. That's just a mean thing to say. What you have to, like, mock is a strong word that I used, Guru. I immediately took it back. You're gonna have to show me. You go make a clip of me mocking Oppo because I take serious issue with what you just said there, Guru. I think you mocked the player and their ability to draft. Mock is strong. If you agree with Guru and you all feel that I mocked, I need to get introspective and assess my tone, because I really don't want Oppo to watch that video or come back and say hello on the stream and feel that they were mocked. I can have a deep lack of respect for cards without it being a lack of respect for the human who drafted and played them. Yeah, exactly. If they go for the activation, we get to ping in response. They really don't want to. I don't know if they're thinking... I don't know why they'd want to activate. But I didn't use the word dumb. If you're gonna say that I'm calling people dumb, you need to show me the clip of me calling them dumb. It's not my fault if you interpret it that way. Yeah, this math is hard. Let's focus on that. I'm going to leave the elemental back now. That's the key thing. If we can just threaten to trade with Evra, then it's not really that big a deal. Let's see, with 4, 5, 6, we can also start throwing this around and just go... like this. What? Exchange your life total with Evra Halcyon Witness's power. What do you mean? Right? They put the short sword on it. It's a 5/5. And then we block. I'm just saying I'm trying to kill Evra with Fire Elemental. How does that not work? Well, I mean, it's not even about Oppo. Like, it's about me trying to educate my viewers, and there's probably viewers who have uninformed opinions about Compass, and I really do need to call out those cards. Anyway, let's get off that. Point is, I try to stay civil and kind towards the human being on the other end of my games. If I fail at that, I'm sorry, but I really try not to, while still being very firm about my opinions on cards. They might be better off leaving that short sword on the Disciple. It's stopping me from attacking with the Cinderwind, at least until we find some instant or sorcery action. Perfect draw would be Time of Ice here. We could Time of Ice Halcyon, attack, increase the chapter count, and Time of Ice the Disciple, and just win. Does the equipment interaction let you ratchet your life up consistently with multiple Evra interactions? Well, yeah, from one turn to the next, yeah. That's, I think, kind of the idea of it, right? Yeah, trying to overcome that punt. Mainly just having something to trade with Evra is key. And this is a perfectly safe block. They're out of cards. They have no action, so we get the guaranteed trade, and that's great. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's a slow ratcheting up. I see what you're saying. Hey, Chronicler should be good. We have something in here that we like, right? Blink. Wow, we usually have more going on in the graveyard than Blink and Fervent. But we can also... we can't Arcanist as part of the thing. I guess we just have to... Yeah, we'll just kick this here. We could get Strike, but we can't cast it this turn, so I think I'd rather have Blink. If we could cast Strike this turn, I'd absolutely take it, but we can't, so I'm going to grab the Blink. It's on the list, Robert. I just have a lot. That's kind of the next improvement I want to make around here is to get a soundboard going. I think it'll be a nice middle ground between me getting a lot of video meme content out of my son versus having some good meme humor around here. Interesting attack. Not sure what they're going for with that. Maybe they know we have the blink, so they can't... They're not blocking, so I might as well attack. But if they play a creature here, then what are they doing? No, digital soundboard is fine. Just something that I can press a button and play a clip of music. Well, are they dead if we don't blink? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we can move this. Let's see. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we should just try and blink and win. Make this be something. This has to be a good card for them to... Well, if they thought we were going to do that anyway, I guess get in 2 damage, but... Not lethal, but pretty close. Did I miss lethal? How does activating wand matter, though? Everything we had to act, it does 2 points, and so does attacking. I don't think there was lethal. Maybe I missed lethal. Oppo is getting tired of me thinking that through. Sorry, Oppo. But then I can't... Do I get to... do I still get to bounce in that world? I can't speak to that yet because I'm not Wizards. I would look for Wizards info on that Raptor. But there is going to be one. It's usually I'll say, here's what I can say without messing anything up. Historically, the Streamer Showdown has been on the Wednesday before the set launches for Sealed on Arena. So wherever the launch date for Theros is, the Wednesday before historically has been when they've run the Streamer event. Here's the thing. Wizards communicates to me in email stuff that I'm never sure when is officially announced, and it always makes me nervous. So that's all that's going on there. I'm just playing it super safe. This looks great. Just need one more land of any type. Well, we're missing a 2-drop. That's too bad, but looking good otherwise. Oh, there's a 2-drop. You're just a little bit late, Warcaller. You've been really nice to have there. We're going to a Journey Mage. I have no cards. If I am invited, I'm auto invited to these things. I just don't know when I can talk about them. But yeah, I will try to do extra time. I always try to play extra when I have. Unfortunately, there was a life event that conflicted with me participating in the last one. I can't remember what that was now, but it was something. Let's go time of. Well, they've got what looks like counter mana up. That makes me want to drop a Warcaller, which actually gets past Syncopate. But I'll attack first. We have Befuddle. And if they counter the Befuddle... Well, if they counter the Befuddle, then they just eat the Lava Runner. Yeah, right. It was my daughter's first day of college. Thanks for that. That was what was happening there. So yeah, I'm worried about the counter potential here. And we can either do Warcaller, but I think what I'm going to do is attack with just the Journey Mage. Then if they counter the Befuddle, the Journey Mage at least trades with the Honor Guard. And then if it's no counter, we can follow with a Time of Ice if we want, if they just take this, for example. I expect they block and we Befuddle and see how it goes, though. If we trade Journey Mage and Befuddle for Honor Guard and Counterspell, that's fine. And instead, all right, we just cycled. They discarded an Adamant Will, and we cycled a Befuddle. That works for me as well. We're up a card in that exchange. All right, Jousting Lance is interesting. That means we get to go either Warcaller or Dean. I guess we go Warcaller because then we can Time of Ice twice next turn. That'd be pretty sweet. We're gonna start with this, and again attacking with these two. It telegraphs that we actually don't have anything to pump the Cinderwind, but if they want to block the Honor Guard again, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I didn't think they would want to, based because their plan is to equip the Lance, but then we get to wreck them. All right, we'll see if they did have a Syncopate. Nope, no Syncopate. Guess what's good against that? Is this a May? That's almost unfortunate. It's not a May. When is it right to hold damage or send damage knowing you are telegraphing? Oh man, that's situational. Yeah, I think it's not worth the 2 damage here. Because by saving another Time of Ice for our turn, it basically says they can't play out a creature without Hexproof. They could play a mana and play the Hexproof 6-drop, but other than that, they really don't want to play a creature. Unless it has a good ETB. Oh, I completely that's all right. we worked out the whole strategy and then I screwed it up. It's okay that, like, it might even be correct. Honestly, obviously that was not what I intended to do. I was talking it through and screwed up my intended strategy, but honestly that might just be correct. Like, I'm not even gonna call it a punt because I was really debating between those plays anyway. Explain lines and then punt it. Yep. Welcome to my stream. It wasn't a misclick as much as that was totally a streaming punt, as I'm sitting here trying to talk my way through stuff. I mean, see, that's great anyway, and like we almost just won the game anyway. Nothing worth conjecturing for yet, and in fact, we're gonna ditch the Dean and just play the Raider after we attack. Oh, yeah, sure, we could have looked for the strike for lethal. I think we're going to be lethal anyway, but that's fair. Oh, yeah, it only would have been 1. So it would... No, that would have worked. Because, oh no, Cinderwind has lost their ability, so that... it wouldn't have done it anyway, but we're going to get rid of the Dean. Yeah, I mean, you could call that a punt since it wasn't our plan, but it ended up working out. I think it just showed the closeness of that play. There was a lot of ways, there were a lot of ways that could have broken to affect the quality of that Time of Ice decision. All right. Well, folks, I would love to go 3 for 3 on 7-win Dom drafts to start the week. Can we do it? decent start for doing it, although one of our worst cards, one of our meh cards. Still, we got to keep this. Maybe we don't gotta. You could make an argument, but like, even though we don't love these cards, Lava Runner into Academy Drake into Time of Ice is decent. It's not great, though. Need some help. This is another card that I wouldn't be playing too much if I could avoid it. I've not really seen this show up in a way that I thought, okay, that was a good play. Maybe once or twice. Like, you have to be heavy, heavy, heavy historic and make sure you get those scries. You scry enough, eventually that becomes worth it. It's just hard to get value out of this card, I've found. It tends to be underpowered. But Drunfo, who's playing it, I'm sure is a lovely person. All right, didn't find our land yet. We're gonna play Dean and hope we find some. Now, Divination is a card I love in the format, and I wish our deck had one. We only had one spot where we even had a Divination we could consider, and we took this Time of Ice instead. Although right now I kind of wish I had a Divination, but this looks good. We don't have anything we can trade for that Arcanist. We don't have attacks into the Arcanist at this point, but Cinderwind will set some bluffs up, and maybe we find a land, we get Time of Ice to set it up too. There's a Time of Ice. Getting icy around here. I just tried to play the Ice Ice Baby meme, but unfortunately, still no good. No attacks. We could Lava Runner and take out the Arcanist, or we could attack with the Lava Runner and take out the Arcanist. We could take out the Assistant, or just play the Drake. If we play the Drake, they're going to send it back. If we let them untap, they're just going to tap one of these, and these are a lot easier to recast. I think we save the Drake, because they'll just send it back anyway. And given that, I actually like the Lava Runner Shivan Fire play. Yeah, Drake just gets ice, so let's not send it out. Let's make him ice one of these other ones. The trouble with sending Naban... Yeah, I could. You're right. I could send Naban too. I forgot about... With Idolez tapped down, I forgot about the pump. So I should have attacked with both. More punts for me. Trying to find 7 wins through a lot of punts here today. So they should be at... they probably block Naban and take 2, so they would be at 15 if I played that correctly. Nah, it's not even that. I'm just... It's this is normal. I mean, I don't know. Am I punting more or less than normal? My punts are typically, like, not huge, but very real, you know? Point is, I'm not going to try to explain away the punting with anything other than Magic is hard and this happens all the time. Getting mana screwed a bit. I mean, we're on 17 land, 16 land, but we're on 16 land, 2 1-mana cantrips. So up against some rough stuff here, though. We needed to find land faster. Not putting up much of a fight in this one. And that doesn't really help either, unfortunately. We're going to play Cinderwind again. All right, they've got Syncopate now. I feel like they didn't have one before. I think we can just call this one. We really needed... so if we had resolved the Cinderwind, they get us next turn for like 8, but then we have some Befuddle. You know, we have some stuff we can do. We have Time of Ice, we have Befuddle. Like, there were some ways we could squeeze out a win if we found some land sooner. But between getting the Syncopate and the lack of a 4th land, I think we are pretty toasty. I'll give it one more draw, but I think that kills us effectively. I think maybe if we Time of Ice, we can not die and somehow find a way. Yeah, our deck didn't give us a chance on this one. But you can see why I like the red-blue wizard deck if you can get the Cinderwinds. The Cinderwinds are pretty critical, and then you end up with the one aggro deck in the format that I truly like. Weak way to go out. Strong deck overall. We overcame some rough mana, rough play on my part. Getting to 6 wins anyway feels pretty good given the path we took to get here. So I'm going to take that 6 win happily. I'm going to celebrate profit happily. And draft again happily. Want to draft with me? Let's draft again. Don't know if we'll finish, but I love the format. Let's play again. And let's see, we called that one The Magic Is Gone. Packs. I'm going to go to Soapbox for a sec. Thanks a lot for hanging out, YouTube. We'll catch you in the next draft. I'm going to draft another one right now. Probably throw it up on the weekend, but well, actually, I'll be the next one up. I'm trying to go sequential with my YouTube posting, so we'll do one more today and see if we can put that up soon. Bye, YouTube.